Welcome back, everyone. Dustin here again, Average Guy Hi-Fi. I've got a review here that I've really super excited to put out. This is from a company that I have very little experience with, surprisingly enough, but it's from somebody that has massive experience when it comes to building speakers and especially home theater subwoofers. So the company here, this is a PSA speaker right here. They're kind of known for their subwoofers, but a few of the big brands that make subwoofers have gotten into home theater speaker design. Just makes perfect sense. You know, they got the wood machining. They know all the details when it comes how to design good quality speakers and everything. So they started jumping into home theater speakers. And this right here is a very highly regarded home theater speaker. This is a PSA MTM-210. They call this a bookshelf speaker, but as you can see, I'm about 6 feet tall, a little under 6 feet if I'm honest with you. These are two 10-inch woofers, so this is a very, very large bookshelf speaker. So again, this is just from a company that has very high, if you read on the forums, you know, people kind of jump into their camps. They're SBS subwoofer fans, they're PSA subwoofer fans, rhythmic subwoofer fans. But basically the V in SVS is from Tom V. Tom V was one of the co-founders of SVS subwoofers, which he just did an amazing job at putting out very high quality subwoofers at reasonable prices. Really elevated the entire home theater subwoofer game. So nice work, Tom. If you need any sales reps, just let me know. I'd be happy to jump on your team. Obviously, you know what you're talking about. So they kind of branched off and then started a company, PSA subwoofers. And again, they were well known in the industry. They made a big splash kind of when they started, and they produced some legendary subwoofers at this point in time. And the stuff that they're producing now is even going to be more legendary. They've kind of jumped into the real big subwoofers, dual 18 subs, all the things that people like me that I don't have space for it, and really I can't afford to spend $4,000 on a subwoofer if I'm honest with you guys. They have kind of prices that range all over the place, but again, check out PSA's website. They've got some pretty awesome stuff, and if you were going to build a dedicated room, you'd probably be pretty hard pressed when it comes dollar for dollar on buying the gear if you went with a brand like PSA to do the home theater speakers and the subwoofers. So this right here, again, is the MTM-210. So it comes with two 10-inch woofers and then a 1-inch titanium tweeter. They say a frequency response of about 70 hertz to about 18 kilohertz. The MSRP on these speakers is $975 each. This is still a current model. Again, the nature of my channel is I'm reviewing stuff that sometimes is a little bit older, but every once in a while I get killer deals on current products, and this was definitely one of those killer deals. One of the best I've ever gotten, to be honest. So the impedance of the speaker is 8 ohms. The power handling is 175 watts. What I noticed is that you can definitely give this thing a ton of power. I actually hooked it up to my mono blocks versus my Marantz multi-channel amplifier, and it does like power. They're very efficient. They're 98 dB efficiency, so a super efficient speaker. But it is larger. You know, that's kind of one of the things that comes with bigger sound comes out of bigger speakers. There's just nothing we can really do about the physics of things. So big subwoofers, again, will put out more bass than smaller subwoofers due to the box volume and the size of the drivers and things like that. And again, when we go to size, this right here is the center channel. So if you put the grill on there, again, the logo is right there for the PSA logo. I'll kind of show you guys close up there. PSA logo, nice high quality grill. And then the only thing that really distinguishes this speaker from the two bookshelves that I got over there are the orientation of the cup when it comes through a visual standpoint. This right here goes horizontal, so the wires would go there, and if you had it in the bookshelf, it would just be rotated, so these were on the bottom. Other than that, as you guys can see, it's got a pretty basic design. You know, not a lot of curves or plastic pieces or anything like that, like a lot of other speaker manufacturers come out with, but again, the main point of a speaker like this is to give you the top performance you possibly can get for home theater performance, even music. I had this thing hooked up for music. I was just jamming out over there. So it's just kind of, it's very utilitarian looking. It has like a kind of a truck bedliner material on there, but it was sprayed to such high quality standards that it really looks nice. It looks a lot better than some of the other bedliner type materials that are coating some of the speakers that I've owned in the past. So I'm sorry, it's 28 inches high, it's 11 inches wide, and it is 16 inches deep. So again, they're saying this thing is a bookshelf speaker, but really, it's just here's a Vienna Acoustic Webern bookshelf speaker, just to kind of give you guys an idea. So of the size differences, you know, pretty massive. But big speakers do produce big sound, and especially when it's a company like PSA that is really high quality. They have their own internal crossovers that were designed exactly for this speaker configuration, and I've really enjoyed my time with them. So again, they're $975 each. So I got a smoking deal. I ended up picking up all three. So the center channel and then the two bookshelf speakers for $820. So that's just one of those deals where I posted it on the forums just to kind of give people a heads up. I don't normally do that when I buy stuff, but this time I knew it was going to kind of, in the traffic, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you stole those. That's a killer deal. I got two of them for $1,200 and I thought I got a good deal. So the next owner, I was contemplating keeping these, but they are just, unfortunately, in 600 square feet, I just don't have enough room for speakers like this, especially the center channel. You'll see in there, I've got it all hooked up and ran Odyssey and all that stuff and calibrated it, and it just, ideally I would have a little bit lower of a TV stand and then put the center channel just below the TV on top of the TV stand. Or ideally, really what they're designed for would be like a transparent screen. That's why you can just line three of these up across the front behind a screen and then you don't have to look at them. That's probably what most people use these for. They are not going to win any beauty competitions. They're very, like I said, utilitarian, but what they do is produce high quality sound and really at an affordable price. When you get the performance that these put out at this price point, under $1,000 a piece, just killer performance. So without any further ado, let's hop over there. I decided to put on Oblivion. Again, that's a pretty underrated movie in my opinion when it comes to home theater and the visuals and the sounds. Just really good soundtrack, really good movie actually. I enjoyed it as well, and I think it kind of goes under the radar a little bit. So we'll go over there, I'll show you these speakers in action, and then we'll hop over here and I'll give you guys the Average Guy HiFi score, where we just kind of go over a few different categories and then rate these speakers and compare them to the rest. So stay tuned. Okay, everyone, got the PSA speakers all set up there. Obviously, this isn't an ideal situation, or this room is really small for speakers this size, but we got to deal with what we got here, so I definitely wanted to review these. So we put on Oblivion in 4K. I set that little center channel down there kind of right in front just so you guys can get a size difference between a center channel that has 5 1/4 inch woofers and one that has 10 inch woofers. Don't mind the little speaker stand down there, just didn't have a center channel. But huge difference, obviously, between those two, so I just thought it'd be kind of a funny comparison to show you guys that. But anyway, put on, again, Oblivion. I'll put the microphone in the main listening position, and then we'll just get going here. So here we go.
Survivors. There are 4. Check it. 5 survivors. They are human. Stand down! Victor, the drones are firing on survivors.
Check the tech's offline, I don't have control.
Stand down! Parker 1049. Back off, you son of a bitch! Back off!
Now we're on to the average guy hi-fi scoring section of the video. So there's 5 categories. We go off of quality, we go off of sound, we go off of the MSRP, where it's stacked up to the competition and the MSRP value. We go off the aesthetics, and we also go off my price paid. Each category is worth up to 10 points, 10 being the best. So we'll jump right into it from a quality standpoint. I gave him a 9 out of 10. This is a very high quality speaker. You can tell that the woofers they used are high quality. They used a titanium tweeter, which is very high quality. They even used aluminum in the horn, which would be super easy just to put plastic in there, but they decided to go cast aluminum instead. But just everything about these speakers is the heft, the speaker grill itself is high quality. So 9 out of 10 when it comes to a quality standpoint. When it comes to sound, I gave him a 9.5 out of 10. That's about as good as I've ever reviewed anything. There's 110 out of all the products I've done. But none of the speakers that I've owned over the last 20 years have given me these are the most live sounding speakers I've ever owned. That's the easiest way for me to phrase it. Now my room isn't ideal. You know, it's about 12 feet by 16 feet, I think, somewhere in that range. And the center channel had to be pulled out away from the TV a little bit, but I got it all properly tuned and everything. And it's like, it just sounds like people are in the room with you, like a door will slam and it sounds like a real door slam. So the sound, I gave him a 9.5 out of 10 because it's what everybody, like audio and movies and stuff like that, you want it to sound like you're there in person, and these speakers did the best job probably of anything I've ever owned. They are larger, so I was expecting a lot of that. I was expecting big voices, real life sound, and that's exactly what I got. 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to sound. Very, very good job, PSA. I love these speakers. In fact, I almost planned on keeping them, but like I mentioned, but they're just too darn big. I have nowhere to really store them anymore. The MSRP value, I gave them a 9 out of 10 at $975 each. From a performance standpoint, I'm not really sure what you would choose that would beat this. There are some options out there, you know, there's some options out there for you from different brands that would give you similar performance. But if that is your number one goal, is just getting the best sounding speakers you can afford, under $1,000, this is going to be one of the top contenders. I gave it a 9 out of 10 when it comes to the MSRP value. I think that they definitely are a fantastic value for what you get compared to what you would get from other manufacturers to get something this high performance. You're doing well if you're getting PSA speakers, definitely. So when it comes to a aesthetic standpoint, I gave them an 8 out of 10. I wanted to give them a little bit higher, but unfortunately, and I know they had to do this for budget, but the material on the outside is going to get, it's going to be a little bit bothersome to some. You can actually see a little bit too where they had the material sprayed on there. There's like a little bit of a seam. It's very minor and you have to really be looking to find that type of stuff. But again, when it comes to kind of the overall looks, this is a very big, obtrusive type speaker. This is going to be something that it will be very noticeable. But like I mentioned earlier on in the video, the ideal placement for something like this would be behind a transparent screen. Now, they're not ugly by any means. They're still scored well. 8 out of 10 of my scoring is a very good score. But they are going to be out there in the open, and they are not going to have a whole lot of style to them. Again, PSA was more focused on what kind of performance they could get out of these speakers within that budget, and they knocked that out of the park. So aesthetics, 8 out of 10, just because it's kind of a basic looking package, and it's quite large. There's no other way around it. These are definitely larger speakers. So 8 out of 10 when it comes to the aesthetics. My price paid, I gave them a 9.5 out of 10. Getting these speakers, which are just about $3,000 MSRP if you went on and ordered them, for $820 for all three, and they even smell new. They have a new smell to them. The materials that they use to coat them and all that stuff, I noticed that when I was bringing them home in my car. 9.5 out of 10. This is one of the best deals I've ever got. I'm assuming that I probably won't need to make a sale ad when I post my video, because people will probably be reaching out to me wanting to buy these things. And that's always nice when that happens, because it saves me a little bit of time so I can focus on reviewing all the next gear that's coming up. So we got quality, a 9. We got sound, a 9.5. We got the MSRP price of a 9. We got the aesthetics, an 8. And we got my price paid at a 9.5. That is 45 out of 50. This is one of the few speakers that made it up to the 90% average guy HiFi score. So very well done, PSA. Again, if you need a sales guy, hit me up. Let me start that conversation. I just love what they're doing as a company. I think that they have they're putting out wonderful products, and I think that they have a great reputation. All three of those are going to help carry that company, which is good. This is the type of thing where somebody puts their heart and soul into stuff, does the research, comes out with high quality products. It's good that word like this can spread around, because normally they would just be overshadowed by the big speaker manufacturers and their big budgets. But nowadays, with the forums and independent reviewers and stuff like that, they're starting to get a big spotlight shine on them, and I think it's well deserved. So well done, PSA. Again, so this type of channel is a little bit different. I focus on kind of the used equipment. I bought these used. I also buy stuff new, but I'm kind of looking more for like the budget oriented type purchases. Now, this isn't really a budget friendly system, but I'm trying to just document a lot of different systems, a lot of different price points, to give information for speakers out there that maybe not have too many reviews, especially when it comes to a little bit older gear. So if that's the type of stuff you're into, I'd love to have you stick around. So again, my name is Dustin. The name of this channel is Average Guy HiFi. Thank you very much.